How you guys doing today? I'm Nick the Sailor and welcome aboard the next video. I got a headache today. I'm not feeling too good, so I'm gonna make this video pretty simple because I've been falling behind and I've had a really busy week. But I decided I'm gonna do a simple video just talking about the top 10 Xbox games to collect for the original Xbox. I know the backlighting is not good because I haven't put up the light, but just bear with me today. So at number 10 we're gonna talk about Doom 3. And of course, Doom 3 was actually a really fun game. It was very challenging, and one of the main reasons is because of how you had to switch between the flashlight and the gun all the time. It got me killed so often, I pretty much just quit on the spot. I rage quit like a mofo. I mean, I couldn't handle it. Of course, eventually I did beat the game. It's a lot of fun, pretty challenging. But I gotta say that's definitely on your list to get if you don't have it. So coming in at number 9 is Burnout 3 Takedown. Of course, you can always get this on PS2 as well, and this is a really good game. If you haven't played it, you definitely need a PC. You definitely need to. I have dumped hours and hours of gameplay in this game. It's so much fun, especially when you take down other vehicles during a race. You just smash them into a wall and you make them just shoot out and like slam into something else. It's just so much fun. And I think Takedown was probably the best in the franchise by far. So I definitely recommend Burnout 3 Takedown. Definitely recommend that one. Go ahead and get that one on your list to get. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Coming in at number 8. Now, I did talk about in a video I did with top 10 PS2 games to collect when you're starting your collection. I did talk about Baldur's Gate. And I talked about some of the different kinds of games that are like that for the PS2 that you could get, like Champions of Norath, and one I forgot was Champions Return to Arms, and Baldur's Gate 2, Dark Alliance 2. So there's those games, but something that I recently did find, and is on this list, is Dungeons & Dragons Heroes. Now, I actually never heard of this game, and I did have it on my wish list because I thought Dungeons & Dragons is probably going to be like Baldur's Gate. That's what I thought. And I found it, I bought it, and it's exactly like Baldur's Gate. So it was exactly what I thought it was. And it's definitely worth the game. The game's definitely worth it. I think IGN scored it a 8.1 out of 10. But anyways, this looks like a fun game because it's a lot like Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance, and Champions of Norath. So if you ever played any of those games, you know what you're going to get yourself into with this game. And Nikki, can you stop handing me games? Okay, buddy? I know you know I'm doing a video, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing it on Second Sight, buddy. I'm not doing it on GTA, okay? I'm not... Dungeons & Dragons Heroes, definitely a really good game to be picking up. Made by Atari, who later on actually went under. Now they're back doing the Atari box, which I'm actually looking forward to. I'd love to see how they do that. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracking here. Coming in at number 7 would be Mortal Kombat Armageddon. And of course this is also available on the PS2 and if I remember correctly on the Xbox 360. No, was it on the PS2? I think it was. Anyways, I remember I had this on the Xbox 360 a long while back, and I got it on the original Xbox, but I remember playing this game and I was able to actually make a custom fighter that looked like Ghost Rider, and that was a lot of fun. Custom fighting and everything, like custom moves, custom finishers, things of that nature. And why do you keep handing me video games? God, stop it. Alright, let's move Hitman over here. Red Dead Revolver, okay. Anyways, definitely a game to be picking up. All twisted. Okay, definitely a game to be picking up too. Anyways, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, definitely put that in your list. Coming in at number 6 would be the Evil Dead series. Now, if you've never heard of these games, they're definitely worth the purchase. Now, if you didn't know that they made Evil Dead games, well, they do. They did. And if you think they were terrible, actually they're not. The only one that they made that was probably terrible was the one on the PlayStation 1. That was Evil Dead Hail to the King. That one was probably the worst one they ever made, but even then it wasn't atrociously bad. It was still playable. When it comes to Evil Dead Fistful of Boomstick, this game's a lot of fun. The auto lock on this game is actually pretty dang good. It's not bad, and it's pretty easy to learn how to kill people and to get people dead. Anyways, that one's fun. Evil Dead Regeneration is even more fun than Fistful of Boomstick. Surprisingly, this game just shocked me when I popped it in. I wasn't expecting much, but when I put it into the Xbox to start playing it, I was hooked. Like, I was like, wow, this is really good. And, you know, it has puzzles in the game, and you have this little guy that can annoy you a little bit, and you can just punt him around like a football. It's a lot of fun. And it is pretty funny. It's got that sense of humor. And in all three of those games I just talked about, Bruce Campbell does voice Ash in this game, in all three games. So keep that in mind. Bruce Campbell does reprise his role in the video gaming world too. Coming in at number 5 is Fable: The Lost Chapters. Now, I remember I spent countless hours on this game. And because when it became available on the Xbox 360, I think through reverse compatibility, I was playing the crap out of this game, and man, I've beat it so many times. I beat it during on being good, and I beat it being evil. It's just so much fun, and if you haven't heard of the Fable series, I definitely recommend picking those up. But even though they have kind of really lost their flavor over the years, I think the third one was probably where I would draw the line and be like, I'm done, because it just got repetitive and they didn't bring anything new to the board. But still a fun game, still something to remember, and still something to play. Definitely. Lionhead Studios did an excellent job with this. So I heavily recommend getting 1, 2, and 3. I don't think they made a 4th one actually, but I might be wrong. I'd have to look at that. Coming in at number 4 is Half-Life 2. Now, I mentioned in an earlier video, I actually have the first Half-Life on the PS2. And they only made Half-Life 1 on the PC and on PS2. And then they made Half-Life 2 for PC and only for the Xbox, which was ridiculous. And I've said that before. Oh, hey, Blockbuster. Hadn't seen you in a while.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping.
Now, I have actually played and beaten the first Half-Life this past week, and I'm playing Half-Life 2 right now. And I gotta say, the first one, I got lost. Like, oh my god, it didn't quite explain too well on where to go, but I figured if it's in an area I haven't been before, then I'm going in the right direction. So it wasn't hard to figure out where to go on your own, to a degree. Half-Life 2 has more of a story to it, because the first one, there's not really much going on. You already can kind of figure that you're high up there on the intelligence scale from how it starts off and everything in the storyline. But once you get up to Half-Life 2, that's when it's like, wow, everybody knows your name. That's a big deal. Like, what you did in the first game was a huge deal. So definitely, like, if you haven't played the first one but you're going to play the second one, you're not going to know what the hell's going on unless you played the first one. So yeah, you definitely want to play the first game, and quite a few characters from the first game do reappear in the second game. So that's something I thought was really interesting, especially when they really changed up the graphics between the two consoles. That's something that surprised me as well, is that the graphics really changed from PS2 to original Xbox when it went from Half-Life to Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2 has much better graphics, surprisingly. So that's something to look into, definitely get for your collection. Coming in at number 3 is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Now this one is the Game of the Year edition, and it has the new content from the Elder Scrolls 3 Blood Moon and Tribunal. So I have this version, I have the Greatest Hits Platinum version, and I don't have the original very first one that they came out with version, but this one does have a map in it and a few other things that I was not expecting to find this on a game shelf, but I did. pre-owned and still had everything in it. So I'm really glad I found this one. Definitely one you should get in your collection because it's Bethesda, come on. And it's Elder Scrolls. I mean, you're not going to be disappointed in this game. I did play this for about maybe 10-20 minutes. I'm going to come back and actually beat this game. I have never actually played or beaten it. And the only time I did was for 10-20 minutes. But in that time that I was playing it, it seems like a lot of fun, to be honest. It does. So I really would recommend anyone who is collecting to get this one if they don't have it already. If you're contemplating on whether or not 3 is worth it because you played Oblivion and you can't imagine a lesser generation being able to produce what Oblivion did, you're not going to be disappointed. You know, it's just, you know, it's what that console was capable of during that time, but it does have everything that you would expect from an Oblivion or Elder Scrolls, an Elder Scrolls series altogether. So definitely pick this one. Alright, coming in at number 2 is the Halo 1 and 2. Halo 1 and 2, of course, you gotta have these. I mean, if you don't have this in your collection already, because these were the first things I picked up. If you don't have these already, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, you gotta have these in your collection. Straight up. Like, the only Halo games I have never played and beaten is Halo Combat Evolved. That's the only one I have never played and beaten in campaign. It's the only one. But definitely, I don't really need to go on and talk about this game all too much because we all know what Halo is. It's what launched Xbox into the limelight. And it was a game that came out as a launch title for the original Xbox. And that's what put them on the map. And that's what made Xbox 360 so popular with Halo 3 when it came out. People were going nuts. I was one of those people that wanted to get a 360 just so I could get that game and play it. I mean, that's how notoriously amazing this series was. I think I stopped playing after I beat Halo 4, so I actually haven't beaten Halo 5 or played it. But Halo 2, 3, and 4 I've played and beaten. And I'm going to get to this one and play it and beat it. But haven't played Halo 5. So I'm going to get to that. At number 1, I did mention in a previous video that Star Wars Bounty Hunter was one of the greatest Star Wars games ever made, but it wasn't the greatest Star Wars game ever made. Now I'm going to show you the greatest Star Wars game that was ever made. In my opinion. If you don't agree with me, I don't care. It's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This is probably the greatest Star Wars game I have ever played. I have stuck so many man-hours into this game and have beaten it from different aspects, playing as a neutral character, as a evil character, as a good character, and then just played it again for fun, and again and again. The game is so much fun. You can build your own, if I remember correctly, you can build your own lightsaber and make it whatever color you want. It's just, the storyline is so amazing in this game. I was just taken away, man. And what's so interesting is that this game is cheaper to get than the second one. The second one is easier to find than the first one. The first one was better than the second one. And the second one fell flat on its damn face for the ending. Just saying. And yet it's more expensive. I don't understand that. But that's just how it is. And I have the original one that came out on the shelves. And then I have another one, I think that is a platinum bestseller. So I have 2 of these. I'm not joking, I have 2 of these. And they're not easy to find, at least not for me. So definitely number 1 for this right now is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Definitely gotta have that in your list. Now I do have a buttload of different things that I want to be talking about, that I want to get to. And I did say that I was going to be doing a history or retro gaming history videos as like a little segment in my videos I'm going to be doing. So the next video I've decided to do a history video on Perfect Dark. And I will be talking about how that game started, who developed it, how it went through development, the different games, all the way up to where it's at today. And then I'm also going to talk about Draconus, the Ancient's Gates, and its predecessor, Order of the Flame, in the video following that for retro gaming history. In between there, I'll be doing recent finds and things of that nature, and of course I want to be able to do my research to know exactly 100% what I'm talking about, and that I can actually produce quality videos showing people something that they can learn. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. And also, if you haven't done it already, subscribe. As always, remember 22 and stay classy, bros.